What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Pinkie Plays. This time we are playing a game called The Colossus is Coming. It's apparently more like a walking sim, quite short, so under 30 minutes, and it's meant to be quite like atmospheric, quite scary, so we'll see if it's scary. Let's go. Let's jump into it. Let's go. Begin, listen. Let's see what the settings are. Quality, high. No, we don't want windowed. Motion blur. Let's turn that off because sometimes it makes me feel sick. Let me move the microphone. There we go. Subtitles, yes, because I am deaf. Film grain, letterbox. Colour. I would like colour if I don't have the option for that. Camera shake. We're turning camera shake off as well. Listen. Oh! So I clicked listen and it sent me to a Spotify playlist. Interesting. One of the criticisms of this game is that it was essentially created just to show off this guy's album. Now, the game is free, but if you want the album, like the soundtrack, then you have to pay like £8 or something on Steam for that. So, interesting. It's interesting, but we'll see. Other people have said it's super scary. Fire Games production. An interactive expansion to the... I didn't even read that. Okay. That is a gramophone. Sleuth will hate this. He hates scratchy gramophone music. Was that there before? Okay. Oh, okay, so I can run. Is that it? What am I missing here? I can't jump anything. Oh, I've got the cassette. Let's put that in here.
It's coming. Play the tapes.
I did. I did play the tapes. Is there more tapes? That's not a tape. The gramophone's gone. That's a record. Oh. You keep your distance, lady. Social distancing.
So yeah, I was going for a walk the other day. It was nice out. It was a little bit cold, but not too bad. But on the walk, I came across to the figure, maybe 20 feet away from me. He was really skinny, slender, just super tall.
Slender man then.
He was wearing all black. His eyes were kind of sunken in, and he seemed like he was hurt. Not like a physical hurt, but like tormented. He was all hunched over, looking at the ground. I yelled out to see if I can get his name, see if he was feeling okay, but there was no response. He didn't say anything. He didn't actually really acknowledge I was there. He just kept staring at the ground. So we stood there, about 20 feet between us. Seemed like a while. Not actually quite sure. I don't remember much. Then the weird thing happened. He just started walking towards me. There was no provocation. He just started walking.
I mean, you've been stood staring at him for like 20 minutes or something. I'd be quite creeped out.
He didn't look up to see me. He didn't make eye contact. He just kept...
Social anxiety.
I got this strange sense of unease, dread. And I'm not sure why, but I just turned around and started to run. I knew I had to get as far away from whatever this person was as I could. So I started running, and I felt like I was running fast. So I turned around to look at the figure, expecting to see something chasing me. But what I saw was just him walking. He didn't match my pace. He wasn't running after me. He just looked at the ground and kept walking. So I looked away. And I kept running.
Jesus. That noise is horrific. Oh, the gramophone's back. I mean, maybe I'm being slapped. I'm potentially being a bit savage here, but if it's to show off the music, I'm not particularly loving the music. Maybe I am being mean.
I don't exactly remember how long I'd run for, but it had to have been at least a half hour. I was really tired. I had to stop, and I
Can't sit down.
an old man, and he was sitting on a bench. He looked really peaceful and content. I asked him if I could join him sitting down, and he said yeah. So I sat next to the old man, and he asked me why I was running, and I told him. And he said that was
Lots
a
of schools
really
everywhere
silly
now.
reason to be running. I didn't really say anything back. I just kind of looked onward.
Why is it a silly reason to be running?
He turned and told me not to be scared, and I told him I'd do my best. We sat there for a while without talking. Eventually he says, "Hey kid." And I say, "Yeah." He says, "Do you see that over there?" And he raises his arm and points out a finger at nothing. I say, "No, I don't." He relaxes and says, "Oh, never mind then." I just put my head down confused. I sat there and thought for a minute or two. But then I realized, I never actually got the guy's name. So I looked up and started to ask, but, I mean, like, just like that, the man was gone. I didn't know what to do at that point. So I just got up and started running again.
Doing like a full-on marathon right now, running. I can hear creepy things in the background, but more bones there.
At a point, it felt like I was running with more force than I ever have in my entire life. My somehow gained ground.
Dude, you're having a bad dream. Or it's Jason. Or Michael Myers. They always catch you, no matter how fast you're running.
So I just stopped looking, and I kept running. I had to keep moving, one foot then the other.
See, this is where I would be different, because I would have stopped running ages ago and flopped to the floor and been like, if you're going to kill me, let's make it fast. I don't want to die after having run for ages pointlessly. Just get it done. Was that light on before? Because I hadn't even realised. Oh, now she's holding the skull. Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him well. There's another skull there. There's a heck of a lot of skulls actually now that I look around. More bones, more skulls. This one's watching me from afar. It's here. I just got the achievement. It's here.
More tired than you could ever imagine. My heart was pounding. My chest felt like it was on fire. I just had to stop, catch my breath. I bent over, rested my hands on my knees. I was starting to feel a bit cold out. I pushed off from my knees and stared straight up. Then I turned around. The figure was still there, about 20 feet from me. He was still walking really slowly towards me.
Yeah, he does that. That's his thing. He likes walking.
I just stared at him as he walked up to me. But about 3 feet away from me, he just stopped. We made eye contact for a moment or two. His face was a lot softer than I remember.
And it was me.
A moment or two, the figure squatted down. He sat on the ground, his long legs crisscrossed. I'd followed him. We just sat there, looking at each other. And then he looked at me, and he said, you know you don't have to run from me, right? His voice was a lot lighter than I expected. And I said, yeah. He asked me if I was scared, and I said, yeah. And then he asked me why. I thought for a moment. I just told him I didn't know. He told me that was okay, but that I really didn't have to be worried. And I said, I know. He was really nice to talk to.
Some sort of thing about running from death or something. Not running from death.
Then the figure stood up, and I followed right behind him. He told me he'd be back to see me again someday, and I asked him when. He stopped, thought for a second, before turning back and simply responding with, someday. I said, okay. Then he turned to leave, but before he could, I stopped him. Excuse me, sir, I asked. I never did quite catch your name. He turned back to me, and then he told me. Then he carried on his way. I watched his tall frame disappear into the distance, until I was there all alone. I stood for a moment to take in the cold air. Then I figured I didn't really have much to be out there for anymore. So I turned around, and I walked home.
I've forgotten what we were out there in the first place for. I can see the gramophone there. This is my jam. This I can't even hear it, mate. That is absolutely freaking deafening. It's squashed by a tree. Is that it? What? You were distracted by 3 of 3 gramophones. You chose to welcome and accept the Colossus. Hello, I just wanted this quick message to thank you for taking the time to engage in the short experience I made. I do really appreciate you being here to support my artistic efforts as I continue to evolve both as a game developer and a musician. I really don't think I would be here making the things I am without you all being here. If you weren't aware, I'm the creator of Fire Games as well as a musical artist behind Auric Echoes. This isn't exactly a standalone game, rather an interactive extension to my latest album, The Colossus is Coming. It's an art rock / experimental rock album I've been writing and recording over the past couple of years. It's a project that truly means the world to me. It has lots of influence. Okay. Possibly donate to me and my studio. I'm not going to donate to his studio. I mean, all power to him and doing what he loves. I feel like the really positive reviews on this on Steam were maybe friends of his or something. It wasn't particularly eerie, and I am somebody who is like easily scared. Like I will just scream and flop at the slightest thing, and that was not in any way scary, but it was supposed to be. It was under horror, which I'm not sure. I mean, it was free. Fighting back was one of the achievements, so I guess we didn't do something in there. But it's like, one of the reviews was like one of the best short free horror games I've ever played. Amazing atmosphere. Really did what it set up to do. It had me on edge. Game made me feel a bit uncomfortable. I don't really understand. But hey, there's obviously people out there that liked it. So if you liked the look of this game, it is called The Colossus is Coming, the interactive experience. It is free on Steam, so if you want to have a go and stand in a forest in a circle of rocks for a little while, you could do that. You can do that on Steam right now. Came out in November last year. So, yeah, knock yourself out with that. Have a really good time. In the meantime, I hope you've enjoyed this session of Pinkie's Plays, and I'll catch you next time.